Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Go ahead,
Can the
Honourable Member.
thank you. Can the Honourable Minister say what is the structure in place for this Men on Mission program? I heard her saying that there are a number of reputable persons managing this program. So may I ask, who is the head of the program, who's the deputy head, who is the secretary, who's the treasurer, and what is the hierarchical structure of this newly established program where we're asking taxpayers to fund with $500 million?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this is a new initiative, and as I said, it is led by, it is not airy-fairy, sir. This is a Men on Mission. You know, maybe you're too young, but there have been many attempts over the years to get men involved in advocacy on domestic violence, sexual violence, which my colleague on the other side, Mrs. Lawrence, would be familiar with, for example. And many of these have been fleeting and not held their ground for long. This is the first time we have a very powerful organization, and not to use it as a formal organization, but a coming together of men in our country, over 1,000 men in each region, who are involved in responsible parenthood, responsible lifestyles, being opposed to domestic violence and sexual violence, and recognizing their role in the community to play a more active role in terms of caring and reaching out to people who are less fortunate. So it is a new initiative. It is led right now, as I said, by the head of the Ghana Defense Force, the head of the Ghana Police Force, the number of religious leaders of Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, and a number of other leaders. This is a very broad-based, led by a very broad-based body of people that are involved with it. And as it gets on, it will take on greater structures and frameworks and so on. However, at this point, they are doing important work in raising the image of our men, which I'm sure you agree with, Mr. Duncan, and that in terms of men playing a more important role in building society. Any of us as women having meetings in communities, the majority of people who turn out are women. Women are engaged, women want to come and find out what's going on. Our men have been somehow lagging back. This brings men, 1,000 for every region, on board to make a powerful movement of men deciding and playing a greater role in the issues that confront them as men themselves, as well as society. So the money is to deal with some of these issues. You know, I mean, the criteria for the elderly and the indigent, I don't know what criteria you want. If someone is having a latrine, so they're available. Someone living in a tarpaulin is available. Come off of it. These are very, very poor people who are living under terrible conditions. We must have a humanitarian view instead of trying to clock everything by criteria. If you find a woman living in terrible conditions, abandoned, don't we want to lift her up? Don't we want to lift an old man up? Or are we losing our humanity?